Hello pedagogues with prodigious proficiency. This is Robbie Grimes once again with My Big Campus Mastery Series. In this session, we're going to learn all about conversations and how they work and how you can utilize them to stay in contact with the members of your group. Let's take a look at the conversations. After you've logged into My Big Campus, on the left-hand side, you'll see the link to Conversations. If you click there, it'll take you to the Conversations page. Now, as far as the view of the conversations, you have the option of looking at it in this view right here, or you can look at it in full screen view. Up in the top right corner of the Conversations window, you'll see a little box with an arrow in it. If you click that full screen mode, the window changes and actually it opens another web browser and just pulls up the Conversations area. I'll go ahead and close this so we stay in the My Big Campus environment. Conversations work a little bit differently than email does. If you'll notice right here, there are two messages listed. However, these aren't individual messages. If I click on this second one, you'll see that there are actually several messages that have been sent back and forth. So conversations are really just that, conversations. It's not that you get an individual message from each person as they send you a message. The conversation is kept together so that you see the string of the conversation as it's happening. Up here at the top, you see that I have a message here that I've written to Mr. Davidson and Jesse. If I click on the messages below, each of them will expand so I can read the content. If I've opened too many, I can compress the messages by clicking on the link at the top right with the arrow. This pulls them all together again. If I want to indicate that it's something that I need to do, or if I want to come back to it, I can just click the little star that's next to it. Notice that it turned yellow. If I click back on my inbox, this is where I start, and if I just want to see the items that are starred, I can click the starred items, and this conversation pulls up, indicating to me that there's something within that conversation that has been starred. And if I click on it, I can see that this message right here was one that I had starred. If I'd like to start a new conversation, I can click on the little box up here with the little pencil in it. In doing so, the new message window comes up, and I can click in the to box and type someone's name who's a part of My Big Campus. I know Miss Lori is a part of My Big Campus, so I'll click on her name, and I'll click down in the message box. When I get finished typing, I just click send. Notice up here that the conversation that I started is up top of my inbox. If you'll remember from our notifications segment, you'll get a notification anytime someone sends you a message, conversation, posts to your calendar, adds a discussion to a group. So Miss Lori will get a notification in her inbox telling her that there is a message that I've sent her. If I ever want to delete a message or a conversation, I can click on the conversation here, and the conversation that's over here on the right, I can click the trash can up here, and it'll put it into my trash can. If I want to get back to that trash message, I can click the trash can on the left-hand side, and it pulls back the two messages that I've put into my trash. Back in my inbox, if I click on the conversation itself, let's say that this message that is right here is one that I don't necessarily need, but I want to keep it in this conversation. I can click the little minus sign over here on the right, and it'll hide this message for me. And that message is hidden. I can hide several more if I'd like, so that only the parts of this conversation that I really am interested in are shown. Now that parts of this conversation are hidden, if I ever want to see those, clicking on the eyeball will show all of the messages that I've hidden. If I want to remove the hidden status for one particular part of my conversation, I can click the plus sign right over here, and it will unhide the message. Then it will be added to my list within my conversation. I can click the minimize or the expand messages button up here, and it will close all of my messages. If I'd like to do a search through my messages, I can go up into this search window right here, and this will search my messages for any content that I might have. I remember that I had a conversation with Jesse and Mr. Davidson about a ThinkPad. I go into the search box and I type in ThinkPad and press the Enter key, it pulls up this conversation. If I click on it, I can then search through, and highlighted are the items that had that term in it. If I'd like to reply to any of my messages, I can look through the messages that are listed in the conversation and just click the arrow up in the top right corner of that message, and I can send a reply message directly to this particular person to this specific message. Thanks again, pedagogues, for learning about conversations within my Big Campus Mastery series. I'm Robbie Grimes.